Okay, about to sous vide, or actually get 4 fillets ready for the sous vide. I'm actually only cooking 1 tonight, but I'm going to seal them all 4 tonight. I'm going to season them and seal them tonight, and cook them as needed. The only reason I'm showing this is this device right here, which is the vacuum sealer. And I have tried the submerged the bag, and it works fantastic. It works great, and there's really nothing wrong with it. Other than I ran across this at a good deal, so I bought it. The thing that I immediately noticed using a vacuum sealer is it really removes all the air. And it really pulls a good vacuum, obviously, and seals it down good. The biggest thing I noticed about the main thing that it matters is it gets all the air out. So, that being said, the steaks will sink better. They don't try and float. No water, no air ends up in a corner of a bag or any of that. They're sealed, they're vacuumed, there's no air, they sink. You don't even have to weight them down. You literally drop them in the water. So that's the only reason I'm going over this. I think it's they're about 150 bucks, retail. And then you got to buy bags. So they're not the cheapest thing in the world, and there's really nothing wrong with the Ziploc bag submerged in water. I'm not trashing that idea. It's just if you got one of these, try it. I think you'll be impressed with how much better it works. And plus you can seal them, season them, seal them, put them in the refrigerator, and cook them as needed. But mainly because they sink and stay on the bottom. But that's all. Okay, there you go. That's what happens. You got a perfectly sealed 3 individually sealed steaks that can be cooked one at a time, or all 3 of them, all 4 of them. And I'm doing a 127.5 cook. And as you can see, there's my selling point that I would say a vacuum sealer, or this is a Foodsaver, sunk all the way to the bottom. It does not attempt to float at any time. It does not. It'll stay right there. It's covering the vent just a little bit. I may try and move that a little bit, but other than that, you don't have to weight them down. You don't have to, no tricks. You just drop it in the water, it sinks. And that's because there's no air. Where I did find in the Ziploc bags that air does somewhere, it comes from somewhere, and your steak floats. But anyhow, there you go. Fix to put those in the refrigerator for whenever. Sometime maybe by the weekend, but we'll see what it looks like in about 45 minutes, I think it is, or I may leave it in for an hour and a half. I got some other things I got to do. So the beauty of a sous vide. But there you have it. Okay, as what happens quite often around here, what I thought was going to be 2 hours maybe turned into 3.5. So we're going to, and you can see my steak's still sunk. Still not floating. It's got a little bit of air right there, but I mean that's after 3.5 hours of cooking. So I'm fixing to cut it open and see how well a filet mignon handles 127.5 for 3.5 hours instead of the recommended 45 minutes. So I don't know if I can do this one-handed, so I'm not going to be able to, so I don't think. Wait a minute, I may have something. Okay, I want to dry the steak. That's what it looks when it comes out of the sous vide bag. I'll just put it on a paper towel, and it looks fine. We'll see in a minute. I'm going to dry it real well. Let it sit there a minute. Turn this off. And I may put a little more salt and pepper on it. There's what everything looks like at 127. the air in the bag. There was a little bit in it. There was. I'm telling you, with the other method, it's noticeably different. A lot more, in other words. So I'm just salt and pepper on this one. That's all we're doing. I'm not big on a lot of other stuff. I mean, sometimes I am, but not often. All right, now we'll go out here to the searing situation. Which I have at 375, and that's something I do. I do a skillet and a torch. I like the way the skillet does the flat part of it, and I burn, the fat. And sometimes I go a little higher, but it's really not needed. You just lay it in there, let it get to going good. Sometimes I'll move it around a little bit as soon as it hits. Black iron skillet, an induction cooker, a great device also. And then I just go around the edges a little bit. And burn it a little bit. Get me some of that char on it. A little bit. Caramelizes. Perfect. That fat right there rolls pretty quick on me, so I'm okay with that. It did roll a little faster than normal. I'll let that sit just a second. Flip it over. And man, that's getting like I like it. We're really close to time to eat. I just unplugged my damn cooktop. But that's not a problem. That cast iron will keep cooking, but I did unplug it. I stepped on my plug. Great thing about those are they're completely portable. You can move them anywhere you want to. I cook inside and out. Most of the time I do searing outside because it sets off the smoke alarm. But this one would not have, but a lot of times they will. We're where I want to be. Right there, I mean, that's it. I don't know what else. I don't know how much better you can get that, so I'm going to go with it. That's why I like to burn the sides of it. And like with a ribeye or a strip, you'll have a lot more fat that you can, burn, char, and it really adds a lot of flavor to that fat. Getting a little warm. There you go. We're fixing to cut it, see what it looks like. And it's ready to eat, as you know, with a sous vide. You don't have to wait on for it to rest. You can eat them right away. Now again, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do this. In fact, I don't think I am. I'm going to set the camera down. But that right there, oops, I zoomed in by accident, but that right there is 127.5 degrees. And like they claim, edge to edge, and they are right. And that's 3.5 hours. I mean, it's impossible to beat. I got a feeling that's going to be as good as they get. So, anyhow, there's my take on a sous vide with a vacuum sealer, Foodsaver. But y'all have a good day and or good night, and come back to see me.